Are you struggling with Spring Security and OAuth in your application? You're not alone. Many developers face challenges when trying to implement security features effectively. Today, we will dive into the differences between @Enable Web Security and @Enable Resource Server in Spring Boot. I understand how confusing it can be when your security configurations don't seem to work as expected. You might be wondering why your secured resources are still returning access denied errors, even after implementing both security configurations. You're definitely not the only one facing this issue. Let's look at the specific situation. One user asked, "Why am I getting a forbidden error when accessing secured resources, even after obtaining an access token?" They have implemented both @Enable Web Security and Enable Resource Server in their Spring Boot application. Sound familiar? Let's explore this together. So, what could be going wrong? The issue often lies in how these two security configurations interact with each other. Understanding their roles is crucial for resolving access issues. Let's break it down step by step. And stick around. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of how to configure your security settings correctly. And I'll share a pro tip that can save you a lot of headaches. To grant access to authorized users from the resource server, the user should ensure that the resource server config is correctly set up to handle the access token. This involves verifying that the token is being passed correctly in the request. Next, the user should check the configuration of the resource server config class. It should include the necessary security settings to allow access to the secured resources. Now let's discuss the difference between @Enable Web Security and Enable Resource Server. The user should understand that @Enable Web Security is used for general web security, while @Enable Resource Server is specifically for securing RESTful resources. Finally, the user should consider whether both annotations are necessary in their application. If the application requires both web security and resource security, then implementing both is appropriate. Fun fact, did you know that the first version of Spring Security was released back in 2003? It's come a long way since then, making security easier for developers like you. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. The user suggests that while your private resource is secured, the access token needs to be passed correctly to the server. Instead of appending it as a URL parameter, you should include it in the request header as authorization bearer, followed by the token. Here's the pro tip I promised. Always document your security configurations and keep them organized. This will help you troubleshoot issues faster and maintain your application more effectively. And there you have it. With these insights, you should be able to resolve your access issues and better understand Spring Security and OAuth. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips and tricks.